Hello everyone, this is Sherry, and this is Blue, and you're watching Lessons Learned. Hey there, this Monday morning. Thanks for coming to the chat. We are getting ready to start a new week, and projects galore, lots of plans, lots of things still to finish, lots of things to create, lots of things to make. So I thought I'd sit down here this morning, or this evening if you're in Australia, or someplace like that, do some scrap quilting while we're talking. I did add a big piece last week, but I haven't added anything but since then. So I should say week before last, I added a big chunk onto it. But this past week, I didn't get a chance to work. I came out here to do some crumb quilting, and I ended up doing something else. I don't remember. But that's what I do when I just want to mindlessly do some piecing and not really concentrate real hard. So, because we get tired. Get tired doing all that brain work. So I hope you had a good weekend. It was a nice weekend here. My husband and I got outside and we mowed our yard for the first time, which was probably about a month overdue. And I say that because my neighbors get out there at the first inkling of spring and start mowing. So we're kind of slow to do ours because we have lots of trees and we have to pick up all those limbs. And we've had so many days where there's been high winds, and one time he picked them all up and put them in piles to be collected, and before we could get the pickup done we had another big wind. So it wasn't the same amount, but it still had to be picked up first before we could mow. And yeah, we did that, and he did trimming. What did I do? I picked up a lot of the sticks and arranged it in the piles. He's got a nice tractor. He can take his bucket down there and put them into that, so you don't have to manually move every one of them by wheelbarrow or whatever. So we got that done. It looks real nice. We have 2.5 acres. Oh, and we also have this huge bonfire stack where all that kind of stuff goes. Anything that can be burned that's organic material we put back there. So that always gives me some sort of weird thrill to make a bonfire. So I got to do that. And what else did we do? Yeah, he had to go and do mowing at one of our rental properties, which was just a small thing, but it was way overdue too, and it took twice as long as it normally would. And let's see, what else did we do? Sunday was just kind of a leisurely day, and we just did our normal things that we do on Sunday, and he's fiddling around with his tractor, and I'm just well, I took a great big huge nap is what I did. So sometimes you just got to do that. We both say that to each other. Sometimes you just got to do that. And I'm no good unless I take like a 3 or 4 hour nap. If these 5-minute, 10-minute power naps that people take, no, that just makes me feel worse. I need to like go to bed. So anyway, here we are Monday morning, raring to go to do some stuff with you guys. And get creative here and do some chatting. Let me get me some scraps out first. I have some new scraps I've added. By the way, the winners of the panels, those are going out today. Those are all packaged up and ready to go, so probably within the week you'll get those. And what else? I looked in my scrap box here and I saw that some of the scraps from that was in there. Here's a little tiny piece of it. I probably could have included that with somebody's, but it's one of those odd shaped things. But it'd be good for this. Good for scrap quilting. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys some things that I got. I did get my Riley Blake bolt. I only got one bolt. All I wanted to go there and get was from So Yeah. They had a Riley Blake bolt event of solids here last week sometime. And I think it was it last Friday? I don't know. They've been having a lot of sales lately. And I just wanted to, it was last Thursday. I didn't want to buy a whole bunch because they were $65, which is $6.50 a yard. Can't knock that. But I just don't have enough room, nor do I need right now a whole bunch of bolts of fabric around. There's 3 windows in here, and I have to be careful where I put fabric or it'll get, on the edge, it'll get faded. So I don't want to do that. But anyway, I wanted a black, and I got on there a little bit late. I didn't think I was going to get to go at all, but I did manage to. And I got on a little bit late, and I just asked them if they had any more black on the chat, and Zach said they did, and he gave me the number, and I put it in. So I got my 10 yards of Riley Blake black. And on that same sale, Riley Blake decided to throw in a jelly roll. Is this it's a jelly roll, isn't it? I get mixed up a jelly roll and a honey bun. Yeah, it's 2.5. RP. Yeah, RP 103, 50, 40. Okay, this is Riley Blake Gingham Gardens My Mind's Eye Paper Goods. You can see that it's soft colors, really light aquas, grayish greens, a light mustardy color, kind of a jade green, and then this is the main fabric. It's a black background with those colors of flowers with some white. Yeah. So I got that. I don't remember what they said the price of it was, but it was deeply discounted, so I got one of those. I got 2 packages coming. Not an awful lot. Some fat quarters and layer cakes and things like that. I'll show you probably Friday. But anyway, that's the new stuff that I got. And what else has been going on? I've been searching out some new patterns. I've got my walking foot on here. What in the world was I doing with my walking foot on this? Oh, I remember. I was doing that mini quilt block on here. Let me see if I can get that off and just get a 1/4 inch foot on. I've been looking up some ideas for patterns, and I had been wanting to do a tulip design, and I didn't want to design it myself because I keep telling y'all, I'm not a designer. I probably don't have any business trying to design stuff. Now I do love the color selection part of it that you can do yourself, and that sort of thing. But I found something. Now, the Missouri Quilt Company girls, Jenny Doan and her daughter and daughter-in-law, I think it is. They have a video that comes out every so often called Triple Play, and they each one do their take on a certain pattern. And I have not watched that yet, but it made me think to go to their website to see what other kind of patterns they might have for tulips. And I found, no, it wasn't. That's not where I went. I didn't go to their website first. I went to, I was on YouTube, and I think Instead of watching that new video that came out, I watched one that was recommended on the side, which was something called Totally Tulips, and it was just Jenny Doan herself. And it was from about 5 years ago, or at least the video was. And so I watched that, and I really liked that pattern. So I went and bought a PDF of that. So I'm going to do that. I'll have to show you the fabrics. I had two K-facet bundles. I had a fat quarter bundle, and I had a half yard cut bundle. And one was from many years ago. And it's one of those things where you just don't want to unwrap that thing, you know. So I thought, okay, it's time. I need to use that. So I got both of those bundles out, and I picked out the colors, you know, the certain ones that I thought would be good as tulip blossoms. And I also ordered a few more pieces of K-facet, not a whole lot, to make it all come together. But hold on just a second, and I'll get those for you so you can see what I'm going to do. So I had this left over from the backing of that other K-facet quilt that I sent out to get long-armed. I have a whole bunch of backing left, so that'll make a cute piece of the petal. And then here's some others. Let me go with this the other way so that you can really see them. So there's 4 5-inch squares that you use as the petal. So it's very charm pack friendly and layer cake friendly, because you know a layer cake is 10 inches, so you can cut each one in 5-inch squares. And then I needed some more variation, so I ordered some less volume pieces, lower volume, less volume, whatever you call it, like little dots and things like that. I think there's 2 more, this one and this one. So I think those will be good. But the thing I would like some advice from you guys on is what should I use for the background. She used white, and you know that is going to pop off of white. But I was thinking about doing now you have to do stems and green and leaves with a little bit of more of a green. It doesn't have to be, but that's kind of the way I wanted to do mine. But I thought about doing like a really different contrasting green for the background pieces. I don't know, what do you all think about that? Let me show you the pattern, then you can decide. When you order a PDF pattern from them, you have a downloads page on your account. So you go there and sign back in, and you can see your downloads from there. It's called Totally Tulips Quilt Pattern by Missouri Star. It makes a huge quilt. It's 89 by 90. But here's what it looks like. Isn't that cute? Can you see those blossoms, those tulip blossoms being in that K-facet material? And you know, they've used quite a bit of different colors for their leaves, not just green. The stems, I think I would definitely do all the same, I think. But tell me what you think about a background. I like the white fine, but I don't know, I just wanted something more dramatic, maybe. I could use black, but tulips on black, is that too dark? I mean dark as in, you know, deep dark depression. Anyway, I'm going to do that. I don't know if it'll be a tutorial, but I might make at least one block on camera so you can see how it goes together. Looks very simple, mostly little bit of snowballing, half square triangles, and then that stem. It does look like her stems are all the same color. They're just kind of a nondescript grayish green. But I think that'll be fun, yeah. Here's a close-up of one of the blossoms. You can see how you could use charm pack for that, or cut a layer cake in 4 pieces. I don't know. Tulips are coming up right now. Not that I'll have this done by the time the tulips are even done and over with, but I've always wanted to do a tulip design. I haven't done it yet. Speaking of designs, I'm not getting much done on my thing here, am I? Maybe I'll get one little piece done by the time we're finished chatting. Let me put one more piece on here and then I'll tell you something else. Let's see. You ever get to looking at your pieces and they all start looking alike? Yeah. That's what I'm experiencing here. Alright. My first little piece. I'm going to open these up and cut them and open them up and press them. I must have had a stroke last night. I can't talk straight. That's a joke in our house. We can't say a word or can't say the word that we want. We'll tell the other one, you must have had a mini stroke last night. Probably something we shouldn't be joking about, honestly. I got a treasure to show you. Not a treasure in the sense of it's an old relic or some precious heirloom or anything like that, but it might become one in my world. But I got this book, Encyclopedia of Pieced Quilt Patterns. And it's the 3rd edition, which is supposed to be the latest one. And yeah, it's not a sit down and easy read, but it's an encyclopedia, for heaven's sake. But anyway, this person, Barbara Brackman, who wrote this book, or I should say compiled it, she searched out the name of every quilt block on the planet, kind of. And she keeps adding to it. This is the latest one. 4,000 plus quilt patterns here, or block patterns. It says, I'm not going to read you all this, but it says, look up block designs by name to find a perfectly themed pattern. Search by layout and construction information to find the name of the pattern in a historic quilt. Or just browse the pages until your next quilting project catches your eye. So that's what I've been doing. Sometimes in the evening I'll just sit and I'll plow through these pages and just look at them. There are some nice pictures in here too, not a whole lot. But you know, there's 4,000. There's no way they could put glossy pictures of every block in here. But let me show you the layout of this encyclopedia. There's all kinds of stuff in the beginning about how to find a pattern that you're looking for, or if you have an old quilt, or a new quilt for that matter, and want to know what the name of the block is, you can find it through this. There's all different ways that it's organized so that you can... Okay, here's where the meat of the thing starts. It'll give a pattern category, and then it'll assign it a number and a letter. Like the first one is triangles, and it starts out with number 111A, and then the numbers just go up from there. But here's what the layouts of the pages look like. So I've just been flipping through this and just kind of learning all kinds of stuff really that I didn't know about names of blocks and how they go together. And I don't know, it's just kind of like the Bible of quilt blocks. And it's pricey. I think the cheapest I could find it was it eBay? This is a brand new book. I don't like people's old books. They have a lot of dust on them and stuff. But I bought a brand new book and it was $67. But it just kind of goes up from there. That's the cheapest price I could pay for a new one. And it came from some library. I think it was something library in some other state. So it's not a used book. It's a new book. It's like I guess a library that has a bookstore is what you should say. But yeah, I've been going through that and I've gotten about halfway through. Not quite. Well, maybe about halfway through. Just browsing the pages. Interesting. Love that. So hopefully that'll help me with some quilt block design, give me some ideas, and most of all be able to correctly refer to the blocks for what they are and not, just give them some name what I think they should be. It's going to be the correct name. So that was something I've been wanting to share with you. I've had it for a while. Well, I've had it for probably 3 weeks or so, and I kept forgetting to bring it up here to show you. So here are my little chunks. Recognize this orange? That was on the string beans quilt. Speaking of which, I need to get some batting for that thing. It's pretty big. I have a 72 by 90 batting. I think I'm going to use that for the pinwheel quilt this week to finish up that series. And the other one it's like, I want to say one end of it is like 80, almost 80 or something like that. And then the other one is 75 or 6. So it's just beyond that 75 by 90 package that I have. Thanks for all the advice on batting that you all gave me. I went in the other day on Amazon to check everything out, and I went into Joann's on their website. I'm curious to know when Joann's has that sale that you all mentioned. How do I get alerts from them, notifications and whatnot. So I'm just going to keep my eyes peeled for that to get it by a roll. Hopefully I can get a roll soon because I need a roll. And that's why I'm a little bit stalling on getting things quilted up. I mean, I only have those 2 quilts to do right now. I almost thought about sending that string beans out because it was so big, but I think I'm just going to do some straight line quilting on it. Maybe that thing I always do, it just looks so good. I just like that. And it's so easy. Nothing I pull out of this box here is grabbing my fancy. Here's something. So I do have also that Save the Bees fabric that I'm going to do soon. I'm going to do a bear paw on that. Some configuration of a bear paw. I may have already told you that. That's coming out soon. And then I need to do another easy layer cake quilt. I have some layer cakes coming that I bought just Saturday, I think. Yeah. I want to do another Not a Stack and Whack. Y'all know I got a lot of flack over that Stack and Whack series? I tell you, there's some hardcore quilt police out there. There are so many, not so many. I mean, I didn't get a whole lot because my channel wasn't that big when I put that out. It's still not that big, but really wasn't that big then. I can only imagine if I'd have put that out and I had 50 to 100,000 subscribers, how much flack I would have got over that. And that was because they said that was not a stack and whack. They said that is not a stack and whack. That's a something else. They wouldn't even give me a name for it. But since then I looked it up, and stack and whack has become a term that's a lot of different things. You know, people just use that term now. And I don't know, it's quilt police. You know what I'm talking about. Quilt police. So anyway, I thought I want to do that again, because that was a very successful series. It's the best one that I've had as far as, you know, on YouTube. YouTube liking it, recommending it, views, all that, you know. I got a ton of new subscribers off of it. And I got lots of lovely comments about it. But I tell you what, there was a few that did not like that. They said that is not what that is. And it's a pattern by somebody else. And it's called this. And I was like, okay. Alrighty. So I thought I might call it a stack and slice. Because that's also a term for that same thing I did. I should just call it stack and whack for meanness, shouldn't I? No, I shouldn't. So yeah, I've got layer cakes coming I got a couple layer cakes, real pretty, springy, flowery ones. And can you imagine slicing that in 3 and putting that all over? It'd be pretty. I can't wait to do that. That's easy. Easy. And I did a minky backing on that stack and whack that I did. And that was the first time I'd ever done a minky backing. And it turned out really good. I was really pleased with how it turned out. I'd never dealt with binky before, and it was a big risk, and I did give that that quilt to the girl at her baby shower, and I probably have a picture of that somewhere of her with that quilt, but she loved it. It's always nice, isn't it? You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and they really appreciate it. But it's okay if they don't. Quilting is not always, you know, everybody's thing, and sometimes you find that, you know, you make something for somebody, or you gift one of your quilts that you've been hanging on to somebody for some reason, and you don't get much of a reaction out of it. It's a little a little disheartening, but I try not to think about it too much because, you know, like I say, quilting is not everybody's thing. So I got this mess going on here, so I think I will maybe cut from here to get me an edge. Let me see if I can do that. What did I do with my ruler? Here it is. Here it is, here it is, here it is. I like having this little rotary mat under here where I'm sewing on my table. And then I've just got my little OFA cutter. This is the first OFA cutter I ever had. It's got that dumb little thing on it too. And I think it actually, you can put a ruler gauge on there. But I took it off. This is old stuff right here. It's probably when I worked at Hancock's, which was late 80s. Pat Sloan had a thing on her video the other day. It said, pick out the oldest thing in your sewing room and send me a picture of it. And I couldn't think of anything super old that I have, but this is pretty darn old. There we go. There's a crumb. And we'll just keep on adding to it here. This is always so much fun. How about if I take some of this stuff? Yeah, how about? I'm just going to cut through here. Let's see, how much do I need? Maybe about that much. See, if you take this like this, and then once you've sewn it on, it kind of squares it back up a little bit. See? It makes it a little bit easier to keep going on it. See if I can keep from messing that up. So you have to put a lot of extra on each end to make sure it'll fold out more square. Well, I did not receive any photos this week, so I don't have any photos to share with you. But I'm sure we will have some in the future. When my husband's editing the videos, he likes to look at the quilts too. He'll be like, what's that color? What's that design or whatever. He's colorblind, but he likes to know about this stuff too. See, sometimes you can just cut it with your scissors if you're not ready to use a rotary cutter. You don't have to use a rotary cutter for every single cut. And I keep my little craft iron over here on so I can, that's what I'm doing over here. Put those seams down flat. So I'm going to cut a little bit of that green off maybe. I don't know, I just get a thrill of going ahead and getting it square sooner than later. There it is. There's just a little crumb block. Now I've been doing like 9 by 18 squares, not squares, but like strips, and just adding on to this. I just keep adding. And my idea is to have 9 by 9 or 9.5 by 9, something like that, blocks that I can cut out of this. Now, I talked that one day a long time ago about making a big runner out of this, which would be gorge. But I don't know. I'm just going to keep on working on it and see what happens there. So I guess this will conclude our Monday morning quilt chat. So I hope that you get busy this week and have some time to do something. If you feel like you don't have time, then just set a timer for 30 minutes and give yourself 30 minutes to sew. Or even if it's just cleaning up your area or getting prepared to sew. And then the next day, whenever you have another 30 minutes you can spend, just set the timer and spend that amount of time, and you'll be so surprised how much you can get done in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month. You know, you may have some finished projects by then. So don't despair. If you love to craft and sew and quilt, then don't give that up, because it's very good for your mental health, and it's very good for, you know, your creative side of your brain, so that, you know, it helps with our memories and all that sort of thing. So, and it brings us a lot of joy, and we can bring a lot of joy to other people by sharing our creations with them or even gifting them to them. So have a great week, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Bye.